Welcome to the historic Fairgrounds Racecourse and Slots. I'm Tim Bryant, the president here. We have been challenged by our sister property, Churchill Downs Racetrack. Kevin Flannery and his team challenged us to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Well, we accept that challenge, and what we've done is we've raised $1,746 to go to the ALS Foundation. I want to give a shout out to good cause, an incurable disease that needs definitely has got a lot of attention, and I want to give credit to Pete Frates from Boston area. He was a college baseball player at Boston College, and he's the one that got this kicked off. So a shout out to him. Obviously a shout out to someone local here, Steve Gleason with Team Gleason and No White Flags. He's done a lot of work to get more awareness about ALS. So we're about to do a challenge. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Bridget Harmon, who's going to announce the participants. We've got 6 winning participants, and we've got some employees that made donations, which got them a chance to dump the bucket of ice on these participants. And the winner actually was H. Withers, so he will be dumping the large bucket of ice on top of my head after the first 6 participants. So welcome again, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Bridget.
Hello. Okay, thank you, Tim. So I'm going to introduce our lucky participants. And let me tell you right now, I could use the ice bucket of water on me. So it's really hot here in New Orleans. So the first participant is Miss Leslie Hepting, our Senior Director of OTB Operations. And Alicia Bartini is the lucky participant who gets to throw a bucket of ice on her. Next up is Mr. Brian Spencer, our Racing Analyst. And Mr. Ernie Waits, the manager of food and beverage, will be dumping ice on him. Up next is H. Withers, who came properly dressed for the event, as you can tell. He is the vice president of racing. And Crystal Calais from the Chalmette OTB gets the lucky pleasure of dumping ice on him. And then up next is our favorite person, Mr. Kerry Loshbaugh, who's also my boss. And Miss Sandra Jackson gets the lucky pleasure of dumping ice on him. And and then up next is Jason Boulay, our racing secretary, and Mr. Andrew Joseph from HR will be dumping ice on him. And then up next is Mr. Mark Connor, Senior Director of Marketing, with Danielle Robinson from the Gretna OTB dumping ice on him. And then after all that's done, Mr. Bryant will be getting ice dumped on him by Mr. Withers. And then, of course, we have Gentilly Billy over there to present the check. Okay, so everyone, you ready? Lift your buckets. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3!
Oh, all righty then. Actually, I actually just got a phone call. I've got to take off. I've got to run to a meet. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Now I'm up next, and I'd like to. We were challenged by Churchill Downs Racetrack, and we would like to place our own challenge to Maureen Adams and her team at Calder. I know Maureen has done it personally already, but we're going to challenge her team. We're going to challenge Jenny and her team at Riverwalk, and our newest addition to the executive team up at Harlow's, Greg Hinton and his team. So we're challenging those 3 properties to do the same thing. And I'm up next and looking forward to it. And don't do a slow pour, H.
Oh, no.
Wait, that feels good. Woo! Okay. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3! Woo!
I think it's on. I'm grabbing a microphone with wet hands. Anyway, the challenge is on to Calder, to Riverwalk, and to Harlow's. Thanks again. Thanks for everybody for showing up to watch us. What a great cause. ALS Foundation, $1,746 donation. Thank you.